Volunteerism. We are here to celebrate you, all of the folks in our community that make a difference each and every day, each and every night, each and every weekend. This is to say the city of Albuquerque, one Albuquerque, celebrates you. We want to congratulate all of you for being here today. And at this time, our board chair, Dathan Weems, is in the house, I think. Anywho, I'm Patricia Chavez. I will co-MC this day. Volunteerism. Our Albuquerque Advisory Board for Volunteerism is made up of committed individuals who spend countless hours, time, rating, ranking, and looking at the number of nominees that we receive for the mayor and our First Lady, Elizabeth Keller. And we're proud to say that is why we filled the room. Dathan?
Thank you very much. We're finishing up some pictures over there with the mayor and First Lady, and they'll be with us in just a moment. While I have a moment, I want to make sure I take the opportunity to thank two particular folks with the city of Albuquerque who really made today happen. And they may not hear me because they're over here, but Sari Torres and Doug Small, wherever, if you all are hearing this and can wave. This is because of them. So our deepest gratitude for putting this together. It's always such a fantastic event, and as you can imagine, it is a lot of work. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the board that I am fortunate enough to chair, and we are Albuquerque Volunteers. We're an advisory board to the mayor and the administration on volunteerism in New Mexico. I will call out some names and have them jump up real quickly and introduce them. So Elizabeth Calhoun is with APS. Sephora Nefesh, and she's with New Mexico Thrives, which is the nonprofit for nonprofits in New Mexico. Mariah Harrison is over here running our video for us, and she's with the University of New Mexico. Hallie Wynn sitting at our table with Matchbox Marketing. Greg Hallstrom sitting right over here. And just so you know, Greg's description of himself, excited, retired volunteer. Brandy Stone's not with us. She's with the University of New Mexico, but she wasn't able to make it today. Tara Livingston, thank you, Tara, with Casa Esperanza. Adriana Lujan with Be Well, New Mexico. Tim Sheehan, a nonprofit consultant. And then, of course, my co-MC, Patricia Chavez with PLC Enterprises. Again, my name is Dathan Weems, and it is my great pleasure to introduce to you the mayor and First Lady of Albuquerque. We are very fortunate to have them both with us today. Frankly, we're very fortunate to have their leadership, and they have been such great supporters of volunteerism in this city that it's a real treat for them to be here. If you all don't mind, come on up. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the Windy City. We are very excited to be here with you and to celebrate all things volunteering and all of the hard work that each and every one of you have done. Now, I get to begin by doing some sort of protocol things that are also very important because there are organizations that are behind a lot of the efforts that we all volunteer for that help fund the efforts behind it. And so I do want to begin by thanking our sponsors. And I want to mention first the State Commission for Community Volunteerism. Give us a wave. Where are you at? Thank you. I'm wearing your pin today. Looks good. Also Coca-Cola. Thank you so much, Coca-Cola. And P&M, long stalwart for this. P&M, give us a wave in the blue shirts. Thank you, P&M. And our food provided by Chick-fil-A, Tasty Chicken. And I also want to thank the folks in our office at the City of Albuquerque. There's lots of folks who work with Albuquerque, but just specifically the people who put this together, in particular, of course, Sarai Torres and the constituent service team, thank you so much. Now, I also want to recognize some of the dignitaries that are with us today and representing some other elected officials. A longtime friend and advocate in many ways, Ane Romero, is here from the governor's office. Ane, give us a wave. Clap. There she is. Thank you. And Michelle Kavanaugh from Senator Udall. Michelle, thank you. And of course, the woman who used to organize this for us, Sophia Sanchez, now with Congresswoman Deb Haaland. Now, we also have some representatives here that I want to acknowledge, and senators, and I think I've seen most of them. Give us a wave or stand up when you're here. Senator Michael Padilla. Thank you, Senator. And Representative Patricia Ruiloba is also here. And Representative Abbas Akil. Abbas, are you in the house? In the back. Thank you, Abbas. And our city councilors, longtime supporters, I believe we have Councilor Winter, Jones, and Pena. Are you here? Give us a wave. Let's thank them. There they are.
Great. So I just want to echo those thanks and give another shout out as well to the ABQ Volunteer Advisory Board, who really sort of works to put this process together, the nominations, the selections. And I can tell you that there are few things as exciting as hearing from them as they run this process, the number of applications come in, the number of incredible stories they get to hear about the important work that's happening in every corner of our city. And of course, the volume of that incredible work means they have a hard job to do in this process of reviewing all of those applications, of making the selections, of planning for this day. So just a quick round of applause again for the Volunteer Advisory Board here at the city. And then, of course, the most important reason that we're here is for all of you that are taking time as volunteers to serve this city, for those of you who are taking time in public service to serve as part of city government or state government or with some of our other offices. Because what we see over and over and over again as we're tackling some of our city's most pressing challenges is the hope and the hard work that's represented right here in this room. And I can tell you that for me, over the last couple of years, I often get this question about sort of what's it like, right? What's it like serving the city in this new role as First Lady? Or what's it like trying to balance these roles? And what I'm struck by often when people ask that is sharing a bit about these roles being both exhausting and tremendously energizing. And a bit of reflection for me as we prepare for the day-to-day to recognize that in this new role, we have the opportunity and the challenge of seeing some of the hard things happening in our city, seeing these immense challenges up close in a new way. But there's a flip side to that too, and this privilege, right, that I don't think everyone gets to see, though I suspect a lot of you in that room are in that boat. We also get to see the amazing work that is happening all over this city on a day-to-day basis, right? And whether that makes headlines at the same rate that some of the challenges make, we know across this city that there is hard work happening that I encounter every day, conversations where you may have a family, intergenerational family, who's sitting down trying to make things work, 2 and 3 jobs per adult, and one of the first questions they come back to us with is, how can we help? What can we do? And so over the last year and a half, we have encountered over and over again in this city a tremendous amount of hope for the future we can create together. And as we often reflect, this is not some sort of passive hope that things just get better on their own. No, it's a hope in Albuquerque and it's a hope in New Mexico that's rooted in the very deep belief that we can and we must do better to create a better future for all of our families. It's a hope that's rooted in the belief that we have everything we need right here. the passion, the energy, the expertise, the time and dedicated service embodied in this room to tackle our most pressing challenges. And it's a hope ultimately that's rooted in the belief that if we come together, and if we are serious about working together as one city and as one state, then we have everything we need to tackle those pressing challenges. So for us, today is a brief moment, right? It's a sort of rare pause for folks in this room who are always out in our community serving in different ways, to come together to reflect on that hard work, to reflect on the accomplishments that we've had, and then also look forward to think about how can we engage some of the other individuals who are desperate to be part of the solution, but don't yet know how to get involved. So we here are excited to be gathering both to thank you and also to continue to engage you as the key stories, as the key inspiration for so many others in our community that are looking for those meaningful opportunities to engage.
And so for us, there are a lot of things that we can do together. And as Liz mentioned, this is a room that already knows how to volunteer, how to help, how to get involved. Our challenge is to make this room double the size next year, the year after that. Because our challenges are so great in this city that we actually need a lot more help. The good news is this room is really, I believe in many ways, sort of role models and emissaries to get others to do the same thing. That is our call to action that we're issuing today for each and every one of you. You already do so much for our community, but we need ideas, ways to help make there, another row of tables and then another row of tables after that, because it's a reflection of everyone that's helping in our city. And so you're gonna see us try and do that in a couple of ways in the future. The first one that I wanna highlight, which is a really fun one that we are in desperate need of help on, is the Senior Games. And so I think you have on your tables, you should have at least one little pamphlet that tells you how to volunteer for that. I want to mention this because if you didn't know, we have 12,000 athletes confirmed and their families. We are expecting 20,000 people to descend on the Duke City this summer, 20,000 people. That is going to be the largest event our city has ever hosted of any kind. This is a huge, huge deal. Of event of that type, right? The minor exception being the Balloon Fiesta. So, but this is one where we need all sorts of volunteers from all walks of life, whether it's helping athletes, whether it's greeting at airports, whether it's helping deliver food. So there's a full range of opportunities. And again, we're just saying everyone here does already all these great things, but it's telling you what to tell others in terms of how they can get involved. The Senior Games is a great way to get involved with our city. That also is going to be a lot of fun. Now, the second thing we're going to be talking about in the fall is our next round of ABQ Volunteers, sort of ABQ Volunteers 2.0. And that's really taking everything that each and every one of you do and expanding it by scale. So whether it's helping with Parks and Rec or the airport or even helping at our crime lab over at APD, we're trying to highlight 1,000 ways everyone in Albuquerque can come help and volunteer for the city. And we have the architecture for this set up, and we're going to be ready to really fully roll this out, hopefully at the end of the summer. So that's what's on tap for us in terms of delivering on that message of hope that each and every one of you represents, but also how to spread that to others. That's what we've got to do to go to the places we know we can go in our city, improving our areas that we're strong at and also building upon and fixing areas where we have challenges. We need your help to do that, and we need the rest of the community's help to do that too. Now, I want to mention one area where people have been demonstrating this, again, in a sort of unique one-off example that's different than the traditional model. And it has to do with an issue that we're not here to get into, the wall and immigration and partisan politics and our president and all this. But if you didn't know, we are receiving hundreds of asylum seekers every month, sometimes every week, right? And we believe that in this city, regardless of why you were here, regardless of how you got here while you were here, you are part of our community, and we should do what we can to help. And I'm proud to say that unlike many cities in our country, Albuquerque has never questioned what I just said. Albuquerque has always come together to help those in need, especially in this situation. And that is indeed what has been happening for the last 6 months. And I want to highlight some of the organizations that are dealing with this challenge on a weekly basis. And everyone is helping in their own way. Faith communities are organizing clothing drives. Faith communities are lending buses. Individuals are helping shepherd people from the airport to shelters and back. Others are just donating because there's lots of need for housing, which we pay for with donations. There's all sorts of moving parts to this. And there's lots of organizations involved. But to highlight a few, Catholic Charities has been quarterbacking this effort. Thank you, Catholic Charities. Let's give them a round of applause. And also Albuquerque Interfaith and Lutheran Family Services, Congregation Albert, these faith communities are working again on a weekly basis to help the hundreds of people that are flowing through Albuquerque right now in our city. Thank you so much. And a few other organizations that I want to mention too, the Albuquerque Center for Peace and Justice, as well as specific churches who've offered even their sanctuary and their resources, St. Michael's Episcopal and St. Therese. Thank you so much. Many of you have also donated and volunteered your time, and many of you have also worked with a wonderful group of young folks in our community, helping in all sorts of ways. I want to thank everyone who's volunteered and the New Mexico Dream Team for all the work they've done. Thank you. Now today, what I was really excited to do was sort of pretend it was the Oscars and open an envelope and announce the award winners. That sounds very fun, but we're going to have some other folks do that. But I do want to let you know that we are going to now move to that part of our ceremony, which is recognizing 10 outstanding individuals and groups who have dedicated their time to making this city a wonderful place. 10 folks, just 10 out of a room full who all deserve recognition, but just 10 to exemplify the kind of hope that our First Lady Liz spoke about earlier. It's hard for me to call, I'm going to just call her Liz, but just letting you know, so that Liz spoke about, yes, Elizabeth Kistin Keller thing. So the hope that she mentioned is exemplified in these 10 individuals, and we're so grateful. Whether it's helping folks who've been trafficked, youth who are experiencing homelessness, and folks even volunteering with our young folks throughout our community and truly demonstrating the love and commitment for the city of Albuquerque, or for Burque, or for both, whatever you want to call it. We believe in one Albuquerque, and these 10 individuals have really represented that faith, that hope, and that belief. So with that, I want to introduce one more dignitary to you who's going to speak with us. And he is, in many ways, I think in his own life, an exemplar of everything we've talked about today. We have a new Secretary of Workforce Solutions. He comes to us from the South, meaning Las Cruces, and he was a county commissioner at one time. He was a House rep for one time. We served together in the legislature. As a side note, he's a very good basketball player. We used to have to play against each other and have to guard each other all the time. But we are very fortunate to have him in this position. And Workforce Solutions, I think most folks know what it does, but it's also one of the agencies that's heavily involved in the city of Albuquerque. Of course, your building is a couple of streets away, but it's something we are glad to have a partner, Workforce Solutions, to continue on the good work that was laid down in the past, but also really take us to that next level and help us achieve that one Albuquerque vision. Our Secretary of Workforce Solutions, Bill McCamley.
Now, I've known Tim Keller for about 10 years, and 99.99% of the time, I am extremely jealous of his hair. The 0.1% are days like today where there's 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and I can just be beautiful the way I am. I would also like to echo the First Lady, who's obviously the brains of that operation. Yeah. No, Tim's pretty smart too. But she really put an important point out there. And this is something that Governor Lujan Grisham believes so strongly. We all have a place in making this state better. Every single one of us, every single one of you, every single person you know has a role to play in improving the lives of our communities and our state. And that is why we thank you all so, so much for everything that you do. It is vital, it is real, it is meaningful, and it is appreciated. Thank you. Yeah. Now, the reason that I am here is that one of the big programs that the state has regarding volunteerism is AmeriCorps. And AmeriCorps, the administrative part of that, is housed under the Department of Workforce Solutions, and we are excessively proud to have them under our department. Since 1994, more than 1 million people nationwide have served in AmeriCorps, and that includes more than 10,000 people right here in New Mexico, serving more than 10 million hours of service. During our current program year, New Mexico Commission for Community Volunteerism, that's AmeriCorps, which is housed under our department, will support programs that mobilize hundreds of young New Mexicans and older New Mexicans to work throughout the state on a bunch of different things that matter. Some examples are mentoring Native students in tribal communities, forging new mountain trails and clearing forests in our absolutely gorgeous public lands, bringing fresh produce and nutritional education to food deserts across the state, helping our veterans find healing and learn agricultural skills through the Vet Corps model, making sure that developmentally disabled adults right here in Bernalillo County have a better shot at entering the workforce. Members bring their passion and commitment to classrooms from Zuni Pueblo to Shiprock to Española to right here in Albuquerque. And as the mayor pointed out, I'm from Las Cruces, and AmeriCorps programs help out our community in a number of ways with disadvantaged children. Now, we can talk about these things and say how great they are and how wonderful they are for our communities, and that's real, but there's an additional benefit. If you volunteer and if you work in AmeriCorps, it helps you prepare to find work, regardless of race, age, gender, ethnicity, any of those things. You are 26% more likely to get a job if you serve through AmeriCorps. And that shows what volunteerism brings to not only the community, but to you. It helps you grow as a person, it helps you work as a team, it helps you communicate better, and these are all things employers are dying to get. And of course, national service amplifies the capacity of New Mexico organizations. So Sam, would you please stand up? So this is Sam Sokolov, he runs our AmeriCorps program. Yeah, you can give him some hand. His hair is getting to that sexy point eventually. All joking aside, y'all, if you are in a nonprofit that serves the community and you have a program, we encourage you strongly, please talk to Sam today and figure out a way you might be able to apply for AmeriCorps. We have funding, and we would like to help your organizations get the personnel you need to provide the service that this state can so desperately need to make ourselves better. And with that, I am extremely excited. I am extremely proud to recognize one of our great volunteers and the person that currently chairs our Commission for Volunteerism, Elaine Graff. Thank you very much.
He's something else, isn't he? Wow. Thank you, Secretary McCamley. We're so fortunate to have your leadership and your vision guiding workforce solutions here. I'd also like to recognize today our Deputy Secretary, Yolanda Montoya Cordova, who really is the big driving force for us. She has provided direct oversight for the Commission and for within DWS. Yolanda fights constantly to seek getting people back into the workforce for young people and for everything AmeriCorps stands for. Thank you, Yolanda, for your hard work. She's been awesome for us. Giving back through service and solving challenges together is what defines AmeriCorps. And as chair of the New Mexico Commission for Community Volunteerism, I've been privileged to see and witness the good AmeriCorps programs and members bring to our state. This commission is overseen by a governor-appointed board of directors composed of community leaders from across the state. And today we have a few of those commissioners with us. I'd like to introduce to you First Vice Chair Matthew Montoya and Commissioner Georgia Armio Rasher. She's last year's recipient. And Commissioner Hank Humiston is here today too. Thank you. Thank you, commissioners, for your dedicated service. And you've already met the man behind the plan here, Sam Sokolov. I would introduce and recognize him. He is our executive director, Sam Sokolov. Our program officers who keep him in line are Brad Nipper and Logan Rice. And the one who's really doing all the work is our graduate intern, Leslie Mauricio. Okay. Great. Thank you all for being here and being so supportive. Now, I'm pleased to share with you a new video entitled, Be the Greater Good. Take it away.
This is your moment to take the path less traveled, to break the status quo, to stop talking about the problem and be the solution. This is your moment to create your own future, to bring people together and seek common ground. This is your moment to make our country safer, smarter, and healthier. You can inspire a kid to a brighter future. Build a house for a family in need or rebuild a community after disaster. Work in the wilderness to protect our public lands. Help a veteran find a home, a job, or a mentor. This is your moment to shape the future. This is your moment to be the greater good. Join AmeriCorps.
So before we go too much further, on your tables, our wonderful mayor and first lady referred to the senior volunteer games that are coming up. So if you find that, our next speaker will be addressing many more opportunities for you to get involved. Maria?
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. I have to say, when asked to come and speak to you all, I was a little bit nervous. But now, with this amazing view, I'm just excited to see so many smiles. And the spirit of volunteerism just fills the air. I'm Maria Riqua, and I'm a city employee under the Department of Senior Affairs. And I have the pleasure of working with the Senior Corps volunteer programs. Senior Corps is a suite of 3 programs: the Foster Grandparent Program, the Senior Companion Program, and the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program, known as RSVP. Senior Corps volunteers have a lifetime of wisdom, and they're sharing their time and talents to make Albuquerque a better place to live. Foster grandparents serve as mentors and tutors and friends to children with special and exceptional needs and to disadvantaged youth. Here in Albuquerque, they serve in school classrooms, Head Start programs, and child development centers. Foster grandparents share today and shape tomorrow. Please raise your hands to be recognized. Thank you for ensuring that our children have a brighter future. Senior companions help our city's vulnerable older adults. They make home visits and are friends, and they help with activities of daily living, like home chores and some shopping that some seniors just can't get out to do without them. Our senior companions are also helping families. They serve in respite assignments, and they're providing family caregivers with a much-needed break so that they can continue caring for their loved ones in their homes. Senior companions make independence a reality. Please wave your hand. Be recognized. Thank you for honoring our elders. And our RSVP volunteers help in so many ways. Many of them are addressing food insecurity by serving at food pantries and in food banks, or delivering meals to home clients. Some help with transportation and get clients to doctor's appointments and out into the community. And they help in so many ways. Here in Albuquerque, they're serving in close to 70 different organizations. Our RSVP volunteers help out the Department of Senior Affairs, and we couldn't do it without them. They lead activities and instruct classes. They're beautifying our neighborhoods with gardens, and they're helping seniors to take care of their pets. And our RSVP volunteers are bringing awareness about elder fraud and helping seniors learn how not to be victimized. Our RSVP volunteers lead with experience. Give yourselves a big round of applause. Thank you for all that you do. I'm currently serving as the president of the National Senior Corps Association. And in this role, I get to travel to our nation's capital, where I meet with leadership at the Corporation for National and Community Service, and I get to meet with our elected officials. I carry with me our stories of impact, like when teachers tell me that the children served by foster grandparents are demonstrating improvements in reading, math, and social skills, that our senior companions' clients are reporting that they feel less isolated and are more socially engaged. Family caregivers say that due to the service of a senior companion, they are saving thousands of dollars in health care, and their senior companion is preventing premature institutionalization. And the number of stories that I hear from organizations that say they simply could not realize their mission without the assistance of RSVP volunteers. And when I go, I'm so pleased and proud to be able to brag about the local support that we have here, about our community, about our culture of taking care of our seniors. I want to thank Mayor Keller and First Lady Keller for shining a spotlight on service and on volunteerism. This is what brings us together and bonds our civic engagement. Thank you all for what you do. AmeriCorps members, VISTA members, Senior Corps volunteers, corporate volunteers, and community volunteers. You truly are an inspiration to us all. Happy National Volunteer Week.
And if you look on your table, June 14th to the 25th is the Senior Games, looking for more volunteers. And you can contact, of course, Maria, and there is information on the backside where you can sign up. Dathan?
Thank you very much. I don't know about y'all, but today is so energizing for me. It's so wonderful to hear about all this work being done in our community, and I'm just really happy to be a part of it. I hope you're feeling the same way. The next part of our program, frankly, I've been excited about this for a long time. We're really excited to bring Albuquerque's Poet Laureate up. Michelle Otero, please come join us. We're so fortunate to embrace the arts in our community the way we do and the way the administration has done for us, and we're just so excited to turn this over to Michelle. Thank you.
Bill McCamley, I'm envious of your luck today because it's very windy out there. Praise the givers who make Albuquerque home. Praise the givers of hugs at finish lines, of running pads through Burque mesas. Praise the givers of random acts of hope and light. Praise the hands that offer books and blankets and bowls of soup. The hands that fill backpacks with pencils and notebook paper. Praise the keepers of shelter, of safe space, of warm beds. You welcome the stranger. You make us home. You rebuild places lost to fire, build ramps to open doors, infuse dignity in a donated sweater, make magic of storage closets, shine lights into souls. You give while raising children, caring for elderly parents, taking final exams. You give at the end of the school day, lacing running shoes and guiding little birds. You are ripples. 1 hour is a stone tossed in the river, becomes another hour, another dollar, another volunteer, becomes a year, then 20, then 40, becomes a lifetime. Praise the ones who get things done. You make us sparkle. You make us kind. You make us loving, sharing, and caring. You make us home. Thank you.
Michelle, thank you again. It was wonderful. Appreciate it. All right, so today is about recognition. Today is about recognizing some particular folks in our community who have done some wonderful things, and not to overshadow all the other wonderful things and all the wonderful people we didn't have a chance to recognize in your programs. You'll see the list on the first page of all the people who are nominated, and we very much appreciate all of their work as well. Our first awardees, our corporate volunteer, Adriana Lujan from our organization will be introducing them, and y'all, just am I forgetting anything? Y'all come on up.
Adrian?
Hello, thank you, Dathan. Thank you, Patricia. So it is my honor serving on the Mayor's Volunteer Advisory Board, but today it's my honor to introduce you all to our Corporate Volunteer of the Year honoree, Honeywell. Over 50% of Honeywell employees volunteered in 2018, giving over 700 hours of their time to initiatives in and throughout our community. Honeywell supports STEM initiatives throughout our community, STEM education initiatives throughout our community, which is great. In addition, Honeywell is a big supporter of Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Honeywell also supports the Hope Scholarship to help students learn skilled trades, which we really need in our communities. With many other initiatives that I can't even have time to go. Thank you so much, Honeywell. Thank you all of the employees that volunteer your time. And please join me in congratulating our Corporate Volunteer of the Year Award honoree, Honeywell. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
So just a quick thank you. My name's Dean Stewart. I'm a lucky guy because I get to be the site leader for 272 strong Honeywell employees here under FM&T. The one key message I wanted to share with the group is the fact that we at Honeywell with corporate support encourage each and every employee, and you see a selection of them here, to follow their passion in the community, follow their coworkers' passion in the community. And because of that, I think we've done a nice job of reaching out to Albuquerque, and I very much appreciate the honor of this award. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Albuquerque.
All right, so for world travelers, many times the very first smiling face they see to introduce themselves to Albuquerque are our Albuquerque Sunport Ambassadors Program volunteer group. So I'd like to invite Doug Lutz, the Sunport Volunteer Coordinator, Mike Padilla, Juanita Padilla, and Nika Allen to come up. So. Each of the 75 volunteers take this role to heart, and they're exceptionally creative and helpful, not just from a logistical standpoint, but also as goodwill ambassadors of our city and state. Ambassadors assist over 5 million passengers here to Albuquerque a year, and 20 of them also even bring their certified therapy dogs called ABQ Canine Crew to relieve stress for our world travelers to Albuquerque. The program logs 7,000 volunteer hours a year and 350,000 interactions with travelers. It is for these reasons that we are so thrilled to congratulate and give the Volunteer Group of the Year Award to the Albuquerque Sunport Ambassadors Program.
Thank you very much. We're very proud of our 77 volunteers and 24 wonderful, adorable therapy dogs. So next time you take a trip through the Sunport, if you see one of these bright shirted ambassadors, please say hi and thank you for what they do. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I'm Elizabeth Calhoun. I'm the manager of volunteer programs at Albuquerque Public Schools. And it's my honor to serve the volunteers of APS and serve on the Mayor's Committee for Volunteerism. And today I get the special honor of introducing our senior volunteer, Sharon Craig. So to take a quote from the nomination, it reads, "We would be a mess without the weekly help from Sharon. Sharon is known as the organizing guru, and she serves as the chief of donations. When Sharon started volunteering at Barrett House, she transformed a cluttered clothes closet into an organized boutique. As a retired school teacher, Sharon has put her experience to use, helping the women and children feel that they're important and deserving. When clients arrive at the facility with nothing but the clothes that they're wearing, Sharon understands that it's not just clothing. She is helping to restore their dignity as they work towards ending their homelessness. Thank you, Sharon, for all of your work at Barrett House."
Everyone in this room knows that it takes a group to do a project, and I have a wonderful team that helps me with all that sorting. They're sitting right there. And I also want to thank Melissa Kaminsky and the staff at Barrett House for nominating me, but also for the amazing work that they do with homeless women and children. And thank you very much.
Well, greetings. I'm Greg Hallstrom from the board, and I've been doing this for 6 years, and what I love about doing this is getting to read all of the great submissions that come in every year. The tough part about it is trying to figure out the few that we recognize because there are so many. But one of the ones that was really neat this year is Teresa Priest, who's getting the lifetime and her support group. But that's what volunteering is all about, is those support groups. Teresa's been working with Special Olympics for 40 years. You know, probably why it's lifetime achievement, because she's been doing this for at least a lifetime, right? Pretty much. She coaches 100 athletes basically every year in 8 sports throughout the year, which is really neat. So she's a coach, really, in a lot of ways. And she's also the head of the delegation for Sandia Prep Special Olympics, which keeps her pretty busy, I'm sure. On an average, it's about 30 hours a week. Doing a computation on that, that's about 1,560 hours a year. That's a lot of hours. So, surprise. I think what stands out here is that the athletes that she's working with become competitive also at the state and national levels, where they can go on to the various competitions. And her programs that she's actually developed are becoming models that people are emulating throughout the U.S. I think that says a lot for her and the programs. I think part of that too is the ability to inspire individuals, which is kind of a hidden talent in this coaching. As I was reading the submission we got, one sentence jumped out at me, and I'd like to close with that sentence. Teresa's commitment to Special Olympics New Mexico and to the athletes is unwavering. Teresa?
Okay, I just would like to thank everybody and my little support group there. Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tim Sheehan. I'm part of the Mayor's Commission for Volunteerism, and I'm proud to introduce Nicholas Padilla, who is our Youth Volunteer of the Year. This young man is a junior at Sandia High School. He has been involved in just some of the organizations: Roadrunner Food Bank, Make-A-Wish, Goodwill, Inez Elementary School, the Doggy Dash and Dawdle, YDI, Beds for Kids. That's just naming a few things. Besides that, this young man has a great GPA. He is also holds a part-time job and still volunteered 250 hours this year, and is the vice president of DECA, and I believe you're going towards the national competition of DECA, right, for Sandia High School. So it's my honor here to introduce you to Nicholas.
I just want to say thank you. It's an honor to be up here and to be able to serve to the community and to be able to just meet so many new people as well as have so many opportunities.
Good afternoon. My name is Mariah Harrison. I'm one of the volunteer board members, and I work at the University of New Mexico in the Office of Community Engaged Learning and Research. And it is my great honor to recognize Ms. Nada Olivas as our Rising Star today. Nada works with Running 505, and if you're not familiar with that, it's a youth running and wellness organization here in Albuquerque. She leads Running 505's largest group at Pajarito Elementary and has been doing so for the last 5 years. After teaching during the day, she leads the kids and the mentors in a weekly lessons on health and wellness strategies, and then on a run through the neighborhoods. She's also a board member who is key in fundraising and coordinates additional mentors at other 505 locations. Many times the kids have been heard talking about Nada's accomplishments as a teacher and a runner. I can vouch for her speed and her strength, and hope to one day be just like her. Her enthusiasm is evident when talking with parents and community members and other organizations about Running 505. She's absolutely an ambassador, absolutely a leader, and we're very happy to recognize her as a rising star.
Hi, everyone. I'm really nervous, but it's an honor to be here. So Running 505, I started volunteering 6 years ago. I now lead at Pajarito, as Mariah said. And we have about 10 to 20 students consistently. And their excitement for the program is really, palpable. They like going out in the neighborhood. Running in the South Valley is beautiful. A lot of them will, during breaks, they'll say that they've run then, and their teachers report that they're excited about coming to school and excited about running, and it's a wonderful program. And thank you, Melanie, for nominating me.
Good afternoon. My name is Tzipora Nefesh, and I am the founder and executive director of New Mexico Thrives, the state nonprofit association. And nonprofits throughout New Mexico could not do what they need to do for our communities without all of you. So thank you so much. It is my pleasure to introduce Shelley Repp. Shelley goes above and beyond. She serves women who have been sex trafficked, and she also serves homeless youth. She spends countless hours serving people and working to make their lives better. Shelley brings light to the dark places. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me be here today. As wonderful as it is to get a nomination and an award, the thing I think I'm most excited about is that this brings awareness to a really hidden issue in our city and in our state, that there are trafficking victims today out on the streets, that there are homeless youth. They make up part of our homeless population, and they don't have access to the resources that adult homeless have. And so I just am so honored to be here and be able to bring that light into more places. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tara Livingston. I am the Operations Director for Casa Esperanza and also a proud member of the Albuquerque Volunteers Board. I am here today to introduce the Volunteer of the Year Award to Steve Vaughn, who conceptualized Albuquerque area firefighters' random acts of kindness 11 years ago. This includes random acts of Christmas and random acts of Thanksgiving, which has provided shoes, clothing, toys, hot meals to thousands of people. They call him at all hours of the day and night to help families who have lost everything due to a home fire. He has served over 1,040 hours in 2018 alone. Please welcome Steve Vaughn.
Thank you so much. It's very nice to be here. So all of my volunteer hours come through an organization, like she said, that I founded 11 years ago called the Firefighters Random Acts. And so recognizing me is recognizing all of your city and county firefighters as well. What we do is we empower those firefighters to go back out into the community to do random acts of kindness as a way to combat PTSD in the fire service. So really, I do a lot of volunteering, but I try to get the firefighters to go beyond their 911 response and go back out in the community and heal themselves. And in doing that, we do exactly what the mayor and the first lady talked about with just impacting as many people as we can, people who've been devastated in a lot of ways or just need a leg up in their situations, and we just try to do as much as we can for those people and heal the firefighters. So thank you for the recognition.
Okay, that was an awful calm applause. I mean, let's whoop it up for these guys. Come on, guys. They got the Mayor's Day of Recognition Awards. Let's hear it. Representing youth, seniors, advocacy in our community, everything from the ambassadors at the Sunport to the shelters in our community, to those that aren't recognized. And then we still have one more great state award by our secretary, Bill. Bill, just come on up here. By the time I tried to say your name. Come on, Bill.
So as the mayor said, I'm actually from Las Cruces, and I've only been here in your wonderful city for 3 months, but I just want to tell you how warm, welcoming everybody has been, and it's just a great, great pleasure to be working here now, and I want to thank you all for it. And because of that, it gives me great, great pleasure to be recognizing one of your own. The Outstanding AmeriCorps Member Award recognizes extraordinary service performed by an individual whose unique talents to serve others with strong ethics, a dedication to service, and a compassion for other citizens makes them an inspiration to others around them. While all AmeriCorps members contribute enormously to our wonderful state, this year's honoree, in the words of his program supervisor, continues to wow us with everything he does. It was in capitals. I was trying to let you guys see. This year, we recognize Eric Hernandez, an Indigenous Educator Corps member with the Native American Community Academy right here in Albuquerque, where he mentors, tutors, and provides support to elementary and middle school students in and out of the classroom. Can we give him a hand? As he serves in his school community, he absolutely puts his students' learning first. Not only is Eric an AmeriCorps member, but he's also going to school to get his degree in political science and Spanish, and he is a fellow with the Center for Socially Sustainable Systems. Eric has demonstrated over and over again what perseverance is as he balances his service to the community with his own educational needs. And as a fellow with the center in the South Valley, Eric is helping to protect our absolutely needed land and water rights. His service outside of NACA shows his commitment to his community, especially when he collaborated with the city council to issue a city proclamation to protect acequias in the South Valley. Yeah, let's get another for that. Eric was recently recently recognized by the House of Representatives for his awesome project, and he is here to come get his award. Can we give him a huge, huge round of applause?
Thank you, everyone. First, thank you to all the volunteers that have set up this amazing event. And it's an honor to receive this award. For me, it's been a privilege serving at the Native American Community Academy. Being an AmeriCorps member has provided me a step into the kind of career that I want to become, that I want to be in, and that's being a teacher. It's one of my passions, and that's what I hope to do. So, thank you to the commission and to my two great supervisors, Shannon Duma and Magdalati. They have guided me along my way, so thank you. Thanks, everyone.
And to present a special award on behalf of the New Mexico Commission for Community Volunteerism, their board chair and a good friend, Elaine Graff.
Congratulations, Eric. I hope I can get through this one. 1 year ago, our beloved Jennifer Royden was unexpectedly taken from us and her family. The loss was devastating and shocking to literally thousands of New Mexicans who knew her bright spirit and giving heart. Jennifer was a passionate champion for national and community service and a tireless advocate for AmeriCorps. As a chair of the New Mexico Commission, Jennifer truly understood and appreciated the impact of national service and lent her energy and leadership to seeing more AmeriCorps programs and AmeriCorps members in our state. To that end, she worked closely with our commission staff and with Michael Garcia New Mexico State Program Director for the Corporation for National and Community Services. After her tragic passing, the Commission voted to rename our Champion of National Service Award to the Kind, Loving, Caring, and Sharing Award, which was Jennifer's motto. And I know that she would be delighted to know that the inaugural recipient of this reward is Michael Garcia. In his role, Michael oversees the New Mexico program portfolio that consists of 60 AmeriCorps, Vista, and Senior Corps programs, and serves as the New Mexico liaison for the Corporation for National and Community Services. Michael has long been dedicated to ensuring that CNCS programming in New Mexico is being carried out with the utmost quality and that National Service members carry out their service successfully. Aside from serving as the CNCS New Mexico State Program Director, Michael has a personal history of national service, having served himself as a VISTA member and an additional term as a VISTA leader. After a stint in DC, Michael returned to his hometown of Santa Fe to help grow national service. And when Hurricane Harvey devastated southeast Texas, Michael put his own boots on the ground, lending his leadership, expertise, and muscle to disaster recovery efforts. For our commission, Michael has long been an ally and partner, offering his thoughtful recommendations to the commission in our shared goal of increasing national service opportunities. During a time of significant change and transformation at the national level, Michael has continued his commitment to this state, to the programs under his and his team's guidance, and to the belief that national service is a uniquely transformative instrument in making life better for all New Mexicans. And aside from his role as a champion of national service, Michael recently got married and is especially proud of his new role as husband and father. Michael, come on up here. On behalf of the Commission, it is my privilege to present to you the 2019 Kind, Loving, Caring, and Sharing Champion of National Service Award.
Promised I wouldn't cry. Thank you, Commission. This is truly humbling and such an honor to receive this after Jennifer's name. I mean, she was the bright spot for our commission. She was the leader, the guider, the spark, the energy, and always that smiling face that you could turn to when you needed something. My national service journey began about 14 years ago as a personal reason. I wanted to give back, but then jump back into government work. That never happened. I've been doing this for 14 years, and I hope to be doing this for as long as God will let me. Thank you all. Thank you to the volunteers for all that you guys are doing, not only here for boot camp, but across the state. Things wouldn't get done without your support. Things wouldn't continue to get accomplished without your support, so please continue to keep doing what you're doing, whether it's half an hour a day or 1,000 hours a year like some others. No time is too little. No deed is too small. So please continue to give and give as much as you can. And once again, thank you to the commission. Thank you, Elaine. Yes, thank you to my wife. And thank you all. And please continue to get things done, not only for New Mexico, but for Bootca. So thank you all.
Let's give Michael another round of applause. Outstanding.